The village of
Umuaka
Umuaka was
village,
surrounded by thick
they called
forests,
him
long rivers,
useless.
and red, dusty roads. Every morning, smoke rose gently from cooking fires.
Nobody saw the
Women swept their
sacrifices he
compounds.
made.
Roosters crowed loudly.
Nobody knew
Children
the pain
chased one
he
another
carried.
between huts. It was the kind of village where everybody knew each other. And because everybody
But
knew
one
each other,
night,
everybody also
Obinna
knew
discovered
Obinna.
something
Or at least
terrifying.
they believed they did. To most villagers, Obinna was
He
nothing
warned them.
special. He was a poor young man who wore old clothes. A young man who never joined
But they
wrestling
laughed in
matches.
his face.
A young man who walked
Then,
quietly with his head
the
down.
nightmare
Many people
finally
called him
came.
useless, but nobody truly knew his story. Obinna lost his father when he was still a boy.
And suddenly, the
His
same
father,
people who mocked
Okeke,
him
had been
began
a farmer,
calling his
a
name.
humble man, and a peaceful man. One terrible rainy season,
Because the man they
fever
called
spread through
useless
nearby villages.
was the only one who
Okeke
could
became
save
sick.
them.
Within days, he died. Obinna never forgot the sound of his mother crying that night. After his father's death, everything changed. Food became scarce. Money disappeared. His mother, Mama Ngozi, started working harder than ever before. She farmed. She sold vegetables. She carried firewood. But years of stress slowly weakened her body. Then one day, she collapsed at the market. From that moment, Obinna became both son and caretaker. He stopped school. He stopped playing with other children. He stopped dreaming like boys his age. Instead, he worked every single day. But because his hard work happened quietly, many people never noticed. And slowly, the village began creating its own story about him. A lazy boy, a weak man, a failure. People spoke carelessly. Words are powerful. Sometimes words wound deeper than knives. Obinna felt those wounds every day. Still, he remained calm. One hot afternoon, Obinna walked through the market carrying a basket of cassava. Sweat covered his face. Dust clung to his feet. Near the center of the market stood Nana, the famous hunter. Tall, strong, proud. Young boys admired him. Women praised him. Men respected him. Nana loved attention, and he especially loved mocking Obinna. The moment he saw Obinna, he laughed loudly. "Look who is here." Several people turned. The village dreamer. People laughed. Obinna continued walking quietly, but Nana stepped forward. "Obinna." Obinna stopped. "Why do you always walk around like an old woman?" More laughter. Nana pointed at him. "You are already a grown man, yet you own nothing." He turned toward the crowd. "Can a man who cannot even hunt call himself a real man?" The crowd laughed again. Obinna
In
lowered the
Umuaka
basket
village,
slowly.
they
For
called
a
him
moment,
useless.
silence covered the market. Then Obinna spoke softly. "Not every strong tree
In
makes
Umuaka
noise in the
village,
wind."
they called
Laughter
him
stopped.
useless.
Nana frowned. "What does that even mean?" Obinna carried his basket again. "One day you may understand." Then he walked away. Nana stared after him angrily. That single moment wounded his pride. From that day, he hated Obinna even more. Although many villagers mocked Obinna, some people secretly respected him, especially the elderly. Old Mama Ifioma often said, "That boy has a clean heart." Whenever her roof leaked, Obinna repaired it. Whenever she needed water, Obinna fetched it. Whenever she lacked food, Obinna shared what little he had. Yet he never asked for praise. One evening during heavy rain, Obinna noticed an old blind man struggling near the muddy road. Without hesitation, he carried the man safely home. The old man held Obinna's hand tightly. "My son," he whispered, "people who shine quietly are often chosen for great things." Obinna smiled politely. He did not think much about those words. But destiny was already moving toward him, slowly, silently, like dark clouds before a storm. Weeks later, strange rumors began spreading. Travelers spoke about dangerous bandits attacking villages. At first, people in Umuaka ignored the stories. But then frightened traders arrived with terrible news. They attack at night. They burn homes. They steal food. They kidnap people. Fear entered Umuaka. Women hurried home before sunset. Children stopped playing outside at night. The village chief called an emergency meeting beneath the old Irako tree. Torches burned around the gathering. The chief spoke with worry. "We must prepare ourselves." Nana stepped forward proudly. "Do not fear." He hit his chest confidently. As long as I stand here, no bandit will defeat Umuaka. The crowd cheered loudly, but Obinna remained silent at the back. Something inside him felt uneasy. That same night, while searching for herbs near the forest, Obinna noticed broken branches, fresh footprints, too many footprints. His heart became heavy. Carefully, he followed the signs. Then suddenly he froze. Hidden between thick bushes were armed men, bandits. Obinna slowly crouched lower. He listened carefully. They say this village has strong hunters, one bandit said. Another laughed. Strong men panic like children when fire reaches their homes. The men laughed darkly. Obinna's heartbeat increased. He needed to warn the village immediately. But as he turned to leave, his foot snapped a dry branch. Crack! The bandits jumped. Who is there? Obinna ran. Fast. Branches scratched the skin. Rain began falling heavily. Behind him, angry voices echoed through the forest. Catch him! But Obinna knew hidden paths nobody else knew. He crossed streams, he slid under fallen trees, he disappeared into darkness.
He won.
Finally, breathing hard, he reached Umuaka without resting. He ran to the village square. The bandits are near. People gathered quickly. But before Obinna could explain fully, Nana laughed loudly. This coward again? Some villagers chuckled nervously. Nana crossed his arms. Fear has entered his head. Obinna looked directly at the chief. I saw them myself. The chief looked troubled. Are you certain? Yes. But Nana interrupted. If danger truly comes, we hunters will handle it. The villagers trusted Nana more. And slowly, the crowd dismissed Obinna's warning. That night, Obinna sat outside his hut, unable to sleep. His mother noticed. You are worried. The village is in danger. Mama Ngozi touched his shoulder gently. Even when people refuse to hear truth, truth remains truth. Obinna stared toward the dark forest. Deep inside, he knew disaster was coming. The village of Umuaka sat between thick forests and wide rivers. During the day, children ran through dusty paths while women sold food in the open market. 18th night, elders gathered under the old Irako tree to tell stories. It was a peaceful village, but there was one person many people did not respect. His name was Obinna. Obinna was 24 years old, tall, quiet, slim, always carrying firewood, water pots, or farming tools. People often saw him helping old women. They saw him repairing broken fences. They saw him carrying heavy loads for widows. Yet nobody respected him. Why? Because Obinna was poor, very poor. His father died when he was 12 years old. His mother became sick shortly after. Since then, Obinna stopped school to care for her, while other young men learned trading, wrestling, or hunting. Obinna spent his days searching for food and medicine. The villagers began mocking him. Look at him. He is too soft. He has no ambition. He will never become anything. Even children laughed when he passed. Obinna never fought back. He only smiled quietly. Every morning before sunrise, he walked to the river with 2 large buckets. After fetching water, he gathered herbs from the forest for his mother. Then he worked on farms belonging to rich villagers. At night, he returned home tired. His small hut stood at the edge of the village beside a giant mango tree. The roof leaked whenever rain fell. Inside the hut, his mother, Mama Ngozi, often coughed heavily. One evening, she called him softly. Obinna. Yes, Mama. You work too hard. He smiled. One day things will become better. Mama Ngozi touched his hand. Your heart is good. Never let the cruelty of people change it. Obinna nodded. But deep inside, the words of villagers hurt him, especially the words of one man. Nana. Nana was the strongest hunter in Umuaka. He was rich, proud, and loud. People admired him. Young boys followed him everywhere. Women praised him in the market. Nana hated Obinna. Whenever he saw him, he laughed. Here comes a useless man. People would laugh loudly. One afternoon at the village square, Nana pointed at Obinna carrying cassava. Look at his body. Too weak to hunt. Too poor to marry. What kind of man is this? The crowd laughed. Obinna kept walking. Nana blocked his path. Answer me." Obinna looked at him calmly. "A man is not measured by noise." The crowd suddenly became quiet. Nana frowned. "What did you say?" But Obinna walked away. From that day, Nana disliked him even more. Months passed. The rainy season arrived. Dark clouds covered the skies. Heavy winds shook the trees. One night, strange sounds came from a forest. Animals screamed. Dogs barked wildly. The elders became worried. "This is not normal," they said. Then something terrible happened. A group of dangerous bandits began attacking villages near Umuaka. They stole food. They burned houses. They kidnapped traders. Fear spread quickly. Every evening, families locked their doors early. The village chief called a meeting. All hunters must protect Umuaka. Nana stood proudly. "Do not fear. We are strong." The crowd cheered. Obinna stayed silent at the back. That same night, Nana approached him. "I am coming too." Obinna looked surprised. Nana avoided eye contact. The chief's son must return. Obinna nodded quietly. Soon, 5 hunters joined them. They entered the deep forest. The journey was dangerous. The forest was thick and silent. Strange bird cries echoed through the trees. Hours passed. The hunters became tired. But Obinna moved confidently. "How do you know these paths?" one hunter asked. Obinna replied softly, "When searching for herbs for my mother, I learned every corner of this forest." Nana remained silent. As evening approached, they found traces of the bandits, broken branches, footprints, smoke from a distant fire. Obinna raised his hand. "Stay low." They crawled carefully through bushes. Then they saw the camp. The chief's son was tied near a tree. Several armed bandits guarded the area. One hunter whispered nervously, "There are too many." Nana clenched his fists. "We attack now." But Obinna shook his head. "No, we need a plan." Nana frowned. "Are you giving orders now?" Obinna stayed calm. "If we rush, the boy may die." The hunters looked at each other. Deep inside, they knew Obinna was right. That night, Obinna studied the camp carefully. He noticed something important. Behind the camp was a narrow, rocky path leading toward the river. An idea formed in his mind. He whispered the plan. 2 hunters would create noise far from the camp. When the guards moved, Obinna and Nana would rescue the boy. The hunters agreed. At midnight, the plan began. Suddenly, loud crashing sounds echoed through the forest. The bandits grabbed their weapons. What was that? Several guards rushed away. Obinna moved quickly, like a shadow. Nana followed. They reached the tied boy. Obinna cut the ropes. "Quiet," he whispered. But just as they turned to leave, one bandit spotted them. "Hey!" Chaos erupted. Bandits charged toward them. Nana fought fiercely, but more men appeared. Obinna grabbed the boy. "Run toward the river." Arrows flew through the air. The forest exploded with shouting. Then suddenly, Nana slipped and fell. A bandit raised a machete. For one terrible second, death seemed certain. But Obinna jumped forward. He pushed Nana away. The blade cut Obinna's shoulder. "Ea!" Nana stared in shock. Why would the man he mocked risk his life for him? Obinna grabbed Nana. "Move!" They ran toward the river. The hunters covered them. Finally, they escaped into the darkness. By morning, they returned to Umuaka. The village exploded with joy. The chief's son was alive. Women danced, children shouted, but everyone became silent when they saw Obinna's injury. Mom and Ngozi rushed forward crying, "My son!" The village healer treated his wound. That evening, the chief called another gathering. This time, the atmosphere felt different. The same villagers who mocked Obinna now looked ashamed. The chief stood before everyone. "Today, Umuaka still stands because of one man." He turned toward Obinna, "A man we failed to respect." Silence filled the air. Then Nana slowly stepped forward. Nobody expected what happened next. The proud hunter bowed his head. "I was wrong." Gasps spread through the crowd. Nana continued, "I called you useless, but you are braver than all of us." Obinna looked uncomfortable. Nana raised his voice. "Forgive me." For several seconds, nobody moved. Then Obinna smiled gently. I already forgave you long ago. Some villagers began crying. Even the elders nodded emotionally. That night, the village celebrated. But Obinna remained humble. He sat beside his mother under the mango tree. Mama Ngozi smiled proudly. "Do you see now?" she whispered. Obinna looked at the stars. "See what?" Good hearts shine brightest in dark times. Life slowly changed in Umuaka. People no longer mocked Obinna. Young boys followed him through the village. Women greeted him warmly. The chief even offered him land. But Obinna remained simple. He still helped widows. He still repaired broken fences. He still fetched water for old people. One afternoon, Nana visited Obinna's hut. He carried yams and palm oil. "I brought food for your mother." Obinna smiled. "Thank you." Nana sat quietly. After a long silence, he spoke. "All my life, I thought strength meant power." Obinna listened. "But now I know real strength is kindness." The two men slowly became friends. Months later, the village rebuilt the burned huts. Peace returned. But the story of Obinna spread beyond Umuaka. Travelers told the tale in nearby villages. The man they called useless saved everyone. One day, a rich trader visited Umuaka. He heard about Obinna's wisdom and courage. After meeting him, the trader made an offer. "I need someone trustworthy to help manage my business routes through the forest." Obinna hesitated. He had never imagined such an opportunity. The trader smiled. "I value honesty more than strength." Obinna accepted. Over time, his life improved. He repaired his mother's hut. He bought better clothes. He hired workers from poor families. Yet he never became proud. Whenever people praised him, he simply said, "Never laugh at someone because of their condition today." Years later, children gathered under the old Irako tree to hear stories. The elders often spoke about the terrible night the bandits attacked Umuaka, and every time they ended with the same words. The quiet man everyone mocked became the hero nobody expected. Little children would ask, "Was Obinna truly weak?" The elders smiled. "No, he was strong in the way that matters most." And from that day forward, whenever someone in Umuaka mocked another person for being poor, weak, or different, the elders would stop them. They would simply say, "Remember Obinna." Ending message: never judge people too quickly. Some people are fighting silent battles. The person others ignore today may become the one everyone depends on tomorrow. True greatness is not found in pride, noise, or riches. It is found in kindness, courage, patience, and a good heart. And sometimes, the person called useless is the one heaven has prepared for greatness. The end.